All right, trigger warning, spoiler alert, how you doing? You are experiencing the Tom Kelly Show. I am here with Emmy Award winning, New York Times best-selling, Sirius XM radio show hosting, Janette Barber, who is my friend, mentor. She's been on the show, probably 10 times? At this point,
a bunch of times,
a million times.
Yeah.
You still listening to the show?
I haven't listened as much because I was out of the country.
Are we banned in another country?
No, but when I'm in another country, I'm very busy being there.
You're very busy being in the other country.
Yeah.
Not dealing with BS from the old country.
Yeah, I don't look at anything when I'm in another country.
Well, you just really quick, people. For those of you who like the length of the podcast, Janette's the one who cut it down to 20 minutes. What else do we need to know about Janette? Janette has always given me ideas on doing the show solo, not doing the show solo, having guests. She's given me no opinions on our green screen background stuff yet. You haven't watched those shows yet, right?
I saw one and I forgot who you were with. But no, because then you got the jet lag. So
okay, fine.
And
the other thing you've given me advice on is talking about things that people are talking about, and I think this is one you may accidentally be qualified to talk about.
Ooh,
Wendy Williams. Have you watched that show?
Well, no, I actually haven't. You know what it is?
We know a lot of people there.
We know a lot of people. Debbie Miller was the director, right?
Don't know. She might have been a director.
Yeah, I think
she is. Is she still the director or no?
Is it still there?
So,
what's happened?
the show's ending. The show's ending.
Yeah, that was
the show. Wendy Williams, folks. For those of you who don't know or care, we'll talk about other things besides this particular daytime TV talk show. But it was a hot daytime talk show over the last 8 years.
Has it been that long? I don't watch daytime talk because I used to work in daytime talk.
So you're sick of it?
Well, yeah.
Okay, no, and that's like there's something. Some people who like music don't see other musicians sometimes. I get
that's how I am. Anything I've ever done, I stop. Then I stop.
So I guess first I want to make very clear, folks, we have no inside scoop. I have some inside scoop, but all you need to know is the show was a daytime talk show. It starred a woman who was crazy. And there were things that we loved about her crazy. There were things we didn't love about her crazy. Something happened in the last year where she stopped going to work for pretty much an entire year straight.
Really?
And it was the Wendy Williams Show, guest hosted by millions of other people. And all we need to know is the people we know who work there worked very hard, producing a series of guest hosts, many of whom were amazing. And that same time slot will be hosted by a woman, Sherri Shepherd, who you know from The View. I love her too. And that's the real inside scoop is the day Sherri Shepherd got the show for real, I texted her 5 minutes later saying, I'm looking for work. And a minute after that, she said, Tom, thank you for the congratulations. And somebody else already has the job. They're keeping the old Wendy Williams staff who worked very hard this year and deserved it. Yeah. So all the people we know that are...
Yeah, like Brendan and Suzanne, I think, are there. And, I don't remember who else is there.
And then nobody gave me any inside scoop while she's been gone this year. So I can be critical of Wendy Williams.
You can, but what can you say about it?
Okay, well, I first kind of hated her. I hated certain things about her. I hated her, but that led to the things I loved about her. She was like the mean, gossipy daytime host.
Oh. Yeah, I literally never saw a
she would be the one to make the joke about your relationship falling apart. She had a segment called Hot Topics. And actually, this is an inside scoop, Barbara Walters and The View, the first 2 or 3 segments of the show was called Hot Topics.
Right.
And that's when they would talk about the news of the day. So Wendy Williams gets a show, and she calls her first segment Hot Topics. And that drove Barbara Walters crazy. Barbara Walters
I honestly don't blame Ms. Walters.
I mean, I do and I don't. You know what? It's like hot topic is a pretty easy word.
I know, but it's actually somebody else's.
Well, they had it first. It's kind of like saying, what's in the refrigerator?
And everybody it wasn't like it was a small local show and she didn't know. The View was big and it was,
Okay, so boom, topic. Strike one, Wendy Williams, and your hot topics. But she was like from the era of Gossip Queen. And I won't name the celebrity, but when Wendy Williams's life was starting to fall apart, right? I had some okay topical Wendy Williams jokes for TV warm-up. Like I think, I don't know, I would see, like, I don't know, let's all act like we're at Wendy Williams and we're going to go leave our husband for a younger man. Something like that. And that's not really, whatever it was kind of like, you know how some people can use Trump as a punchline? Like, why did the chicken cross the road?
Trump!
Yes! And you get a laugh. And you get a laugh, you know, just like that. But she was the kind of person who'd kick you when you were down. And it's funny, I remember making some sort of joke, and I swear it was a funny joke. And then whatever celebrity I was with said, oh, Tom. I was making a joke about her marriage falling apart. I think that was it. And whoever the celebrity was who was near me said, Tom, don't make fun of Wendy Williams. And I looked at the celebrity and I said, if it was your marriage falling apart, she'd be making fun of you. And the celebrity, who was very sweet, said, I know, but let's be better.
Oh.
Yes. Actually, it was Michael Strahan. And that said, I then just told the same joke, but just never when he was around. Because I felt like so I was going to be better when he was around. And he, you know, and that was kind of her humor. And then the crazy started getting crazier. Like she talked about how she slept with her bed. Like this was a great one on Conan O'Brien, that she and her husband and her son, who was 13 at the time, they all kept their bedroom doors open, even if they were having sex.
Oh, that seems like a
one
real
day the son,
situation of TMI.
Yeah, and she was a lot of TMI. She fainted on TV, lots of stuff like that. But the thing is, she did a few things good for daytime. She brought more energy to daytime. She made the audiences look good. I used to get mad that she didn't have a traditional warm-up comedian there, but that she had a good-looking DJ that got all of these people dancing. And like if sometimes a daytime TV audience could look like refugees from Long Island, she made them all dress prettier and aim bigger. But I think that style of comedy, her style of humor, was kind of dying.
Well, everything is now so PC, and we live in a world where the most horrible thing that can ever happen to you is have your feelings hurt. Well, that really annoys me.
Yeah. So. But I think she was in the era of, I'm going to kick you when you were down. I'm going to get the dirt on you. And I think it's a dying form of humor. Like Wendy Williams, you had Perez Hilton. Do you remember Perez Hilton?
I do remember.
He was the gossip site.
Yes.
You know, he outed like half of gay America at a certain point.
That was back in the early 90s. Yeah, I never watched him either. But.
And even Andy Cohen and the Watch What Happens Live, even though I really like what he does.
I've never seen it.
I think the humor of pitting crazy against crazy is kind of dying. So I guess, I don't know.
I don't love mean humor. I don't love mean humor.
But the happy ending, Sherri Shepherd, who is hilarious, is taking over that time slot. And she's the kind of person, if you're having a bad day, she won't make fun of you. She'll pray for you.
I love Sherri Shepherd. My only sad thing about this is that she's not going to be able to do as much acting. I think she's one of the best actresses.
She is. Actually, you know what I love?
Did you see Trial and Error?
You know what? No, because...
Oh my God, she was brilliant, beyond brilliant in that. One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
You know what? I'm going to have to look for that on the Peacock, if that's still there.
I wonder if it's on the Peacock. I've been telling Michael to watch it, and he's been having trouble finding it. I think there were only 2 seasons, and both were good, but season 1 with John Lithgow. But Sherri Shepherd.
Sherri Shepherd is magical.
Yeah.
On to, so you know what, now that we're into 8 minutes of kissing Sherri Shepherd's ass.
Yeah, I love her.
Let me kiss
and
yours.
And she's really nice.
She is. She's nice. Like, again, who the hell, like, you talk about, like, I mean, it's so stupid, but, like, she is a great mom. Mm-hmm. I guess we're giving way too much information here, and now we're getting, but God bless her, she loves her son, Jeffrey. And I remember, I don't think I've ever seen anybody work so hard to be famous and pay the bills for her kid than Sherri Shepherd. Actually, Jenny McCarthy was sort of in that same zone too, where it's like, hey, I'm a single mom here. What can I do to pay the kid's bills and make sure the kid is doing well in life? And that was Sherri. She's a good mom. She actually does pray. She actually does talk to the little people, if I am one of them, for the sake of this story. And God bless her. I once got a little too drunk at one of her parties, and I was going to sleep on her neighbor's lawn. Or actually, I wasn't. I was going to sleep out in the car. And she's like, Tom, you go sleep in the guest room. And this became a recurring fight of I felt I should leave before breakfast because I didn't want to be that weirdo who stayed way too long. And and I left, and I didn't make the bed in the guest room. I kind of just snuck out, trying not to wake anybody up. And it then became a whole big thing of, Tom, you got drunk, you slept in my house, and you didn't even make the damn bed.
You see, one time, I didn't get drunk, but I stayed at somebody's house, and I very inadequately made the bed because it was against a wall. I mean, what do I look like? You know, it's hard. But my feeling is they're going to change the sheets.
I wonder, not in my house. So you know what it is? I think what she would have appreciated, and listen, it was a lesson learned.
Yeah.
I made, that it was, you got to make the effort.
Oh, now efforts. I did make the effort. I just didn't do it right, and they called me on it. So now, if I stay at anybody else's house, which really doesn't happen, but if it did, I would make the effort.
But if it did, I would make the effort.
I would make the effort.
And the other joke I used to say about living in her house or sleeping over her house was, I slept in her wig room. She laughed at that too. So let's talk about you talking about differences in house guests. I'm going to reach and pull this up here.
Oh.
Janette got a new purse, ladies and gentlemen, from Kate Spade.
Yes, I got it.
What is it?
I got it, but it's not. I don't know what it is.
It's a purse.
It's a purse.
And it's from Kate Spade. It says Kate Spade on it. It's got tags on it.
Yeah, and it's got some kind of a name. It's the Serrano Place Pearl Cloud Cover.
Oh, you talk. So where did you find it? I'm going to actually maybe.
I found it in your garbage. I found it in the trash outside. Not in his apartment.
Not in my apartment, because that would be my purse.
Outside the building. And one time, and we got drunk one time on the podcast.
Yes.
And it was on wine we had found downstairs. I'm telling you, the trash bin in this apartment building is a gold mine.
So, okay, we think, no, this could be a $160 purse.
Wow.
As much as, or that's on the ads. Let's hit the shopping button. And then blue. Yeah, this might be, you may have just dumpster dove and got $160 worth of purse.
It's cute, isn't it?
It's cute. That said, just rehashing the story that happened on the podcast once before was when somebody was moving out of this apartment building, someone threw out 10 bottles of wine, and we took 5 of them. Actually, it was the day you got your COVID vaccine.
Oh, right.
We dropped off the car. I drove Janette, like the elderly spinster that I paint her to be. No, actually, but you play the old lady card pretty well sometimes.
Listen, I'm really fine with elderly. It's the spinster I don't like.
No, but you play that card. You play the, I'm old, I'm in the apartment alone. It was more of a COVID thing. Yeah. I think we're coming out of our COVID show.
Well, it was winter, and I wouldn't take the subway. And so in the dead of really, really cold winter, I was going to have to walk like 3 miles. And so Tom came and saved me.
Yeah, and I picked her up, and we both double-masked, and then we decided to just podcast. You know what's funny, too? We were so worried about our health, right? I can't take the subway. I might get COVID. Okay, fine. I'll pick you up. And then we rode in my little Volvo. We each masked up, and I waited outside. I think we also drove with the windows down.
Yeah, we probably did. And it was February.
I was afraid of you getting a cold walking 3 miles in the cold weather.
That's right.
Then you're like, Tom, I can walk a half mile back to my place. Fine. We park my car, you walk the half mile here with me, and you're going to walk the other half mile to your apartment, and we stop outside my apartment building, and there's 5 bottles of wine. And somehow we were so worried about our health before, but then suddenly there's free booze we found in the dumpster.
But it had corks.
It was cork.
Yeah. But in those days, remember, we used to have to wipe everything down. We were afraid we were going to get COVID from touching it.
But yet we were worried about getting COVID from being in the same car, but somehow drinking old wine from the neighbors upstairs didn't bother us.
Yeah, no.
You ready for the real messed up thing? So and I hope I have 2 very nice neighbors, CJ and I think Gabriella upstairs, and this will be a test to see if they listen. They move in again in the middle of COVID, and I just start hearing all the banging upstairs. They're moving a sofa on a Saturday night at 11 o'clock. And it was half at the time really annoying and half really nice because it was COVID. I thought I was the only one in the building for a couple of those times, for a little bit of COVID. And so I decided, you know what? I have this wine I found in the garbage can. Let me go upstairs and give them a welcome to the building bottle of wine. Don't tell me they threw it out. I don't know. No, I gave them the wine I found in the garbage can. and welcomed them to the building as a sort of a way of saying, hi, I'm right under you, be quiet. Or I didn't mean it, but I also wanted to see who was up there. They were moving in.
So they weren't the ones that threw it.
Yeah. So the people moving in, I gave them the old people's wine that I found in the trash. And part of me wondered if they ever got like diarrhea from it, if ever they got indigestion.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We did not get that.
We could have kept going. Actually, in the realm of wine, I still have a little leftover Marianne Stelmagic wine.
Oh, is that
the Tom Kelly Show wine? Yeah.
I love that wine.
I think it's been sitting with the cork off for a good 2 weeks now. Oh, and I can't open it because of the green screen. Sorry, America. No getting drunk on today's podcast.
I'll come back another time.
Happier topic.
Oh, I started drinking whiskey.
What? How? Where? Why?
Well, George, who is the person I go out with, and he enjoys whiskey, and I bought him an incredibly expensive bottle of whiskey. The Japanese whiskeys are really, high end. They're like $175. I think that's expensive. So the whiskey store guy said, "I hope you're going to get to try this." And I'm thinking, well, honestly, if somebody has a weapon, but I tasted it. It was not gross, and I thought, I think I can develop a taste for this if it's expensive enough. And then there's a whiskey, a brewery in California, St. George, and I love their absinthe. And he found St. George has a whiskey, and I love the name of it. It's called Baller. Baller whiskey. Okay. And it's freaking great.
What is the secret to a good whiskey? What makes you like whiskey? And also at your advanced age.
It's probably not safe.
You know what's funny? I'm now making... Here's the problem with hanging out with you so much. Oh, Janette just closed all three rings. All three rings on the Apple Watch right there.
Yeah. What's the terrible thing about hanging out with me?
Because you make all these old people jokes that are kind of funny, but are self-effacing when you make them. And then if I beat you to one of those punchlines because I like beating you to the punchline, I feel like a jerk.
But I just, like you'll call me, say something, and then I'll act offended. That's me trying to top your joke.
Yeah.
Because I think it's funny.
But a sign that you are an old person.
I am an old person.
We got to set your phone just so you don't get in trouble when you go into a theater. Your phone, your Apple Watch makes noises out loud.
Yeah, it didn't used to, and so I think I must have done something. Now it's on airplane mode. How did that happen?
I don't like the Apple Watch has been giving me trouble. I'll give you. This might be a bigger.
Maybe I should fly somewhere.
Wait, are you really on airplane mode?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
That is weird. What happened?
I don't know. It just suddenly happened. I must have touched it.
You got Mickey Mouse's.
My ass is constantly.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So that's the airplane.
Undo it.
And then there's got to be a silent button there. Oh, there's your little vibrate button. Did that? There you go. Oh, nope. Oh. That we just found your iPhone.
I found my phone. That's a relief.
Then there's 48%. I don't know. What's that happy button do? Oh, theater mode.
Theater mode.
What does that do?
I suppose it doesn't make any
Turns
noise.
on silent.
Either that or it sings.
Okay. This is how I know I'm getting old. Your font isn't big enough and your font is big.
I think it's as big as it gets. Yeah, my ass grows fingers because I carry my phone in my pocket.
Your what? Your ass grows fingers.
Because
Wait, hang on. Say that again slowly for America.
I said I think my ass has grown fingers because you carry your phone in your ass pocket, and I'm walking. Now, maybe I've been on the phone for 45 minutes, and all of a sudden, the mute button has been pushed.
Okay. By the way, if Janette's ass has grown fingers, her significant other George is a lucky man.
Oh.
That's what I'm imagining. Anybody else?
Well,
no? No, please stop. Okay, and checkmate, you win. Checkmate, you win on the gesture. Okay. That's the other one, too, is I like playing chicken with you when we make these jokes, when we do this stuff. What was the other fun one I wanted to talk to you about? We're getting close to the end of the podcast. I'll give you a weird one. You do a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
I'll give you a piece of travel advice, and maybe you can top it.
Okay.
I went to Los Angeles, got to the airport, and you do the Uber, and Uber was $250 to go to where I wanted to go. And for that price, you're just like, geez, can I rent a car for a week? So I went, as I'm walking out of the airport towards the Uber stand, and I asked this woman, hey, is it really $250 for an Uber? And her line was, if you walk 2 blocks that way, Uber prices drop. And the Uber went from $250 for a black car down to $69 for a regular car. So I saved $156. Somebody else do the math and messagey. Anyway, I saved over $100, over $150. and just by walking 2 blocks. That's my random travel tip. You have just come back from France, Europe. Do you have a random, quick, easy travel tip?
When all else fails, cry, and someone will help you.
I use that. I actually used that to diffuse a family fight the other day.
It works like a charm.
I didn't cry, but I threatened. There was a family fight, and everybody's getting along now. And just everybody was stressed, and I just looked and I said, guys, you're all gonna stop, or I'm gonna cry. And there was a pause. I said, guys are gonna stop, nobody's respecting it. Or I'm gonna cry. There you go. That's my mother's move.
You can get a little catch in your throat if you need to. I had to almost cry because in Paris, I was there for a week and in an Airbnb, and it was great. But then I just had, then I went to Morocco, and I was just going to have an extra day because I had to get a COVID test. And so I just wanted some cheap hotel because I didn't want to spend a lot. That's why it was cheap. So I was in the Bermuda Triangle of hotels, the hotel that God forgot, because no one could find it. An Uber, because they stayed there 2 different nights.
Okay.
The Uber can't find it. The street is about as wide as your computer. No one can find it. And the first Uber guy spoke English, and he was really nice, and he stayed on the streets, and I'm running with my freaking steamer trunk to try to find it. Then I come back, and I think I'm just going to get a cab this time. Okay. It's a street where it's difficult for Ubers for some reason. It's Paris. So I get a cab. We're driving, then we get to it, and the cab driver can't find it. It's a freaking hotel. And he's driving around and around and around. And I'm thinking, well, maybe that looks familiar. He's asking me where it is. I said, I'm from New York.
But you're speaking in English.
Yeah, because that's the language I know.
And that's a language he knows.
Not very well. He did not know that one very well. But he couldn't find it.
So it's like a New York City cab.
Yeah. And then he's getting impatient, and he like pulling over, and I thought he was going to throw me out with my luggage, and I came in from Morocco late, so it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I didn't want to run, and so I went, but I don't know where I am. Now, I wasn't really crying. I wanted to stab him, but I chose to let it sound like I was going to cry. And finally, he got close enough and said, it's down there, and threw me out on the street. But the tears at least kept him from throwing me out blocks before. So that's my advice. While traveling, carry an onion.
Carry an onion?
Or a little banaka on your finger. A little, breath mint can also make your eyes tear up. And do what you have to do.
Oh, my God. Well, that's great. Thank you, ass fingers.
I got a new nickname.
It's funny because I respect you so much, I can't say it about you, but hi. So listen, folks, that's the end of the show. Listen.
I'm going to get that out of him.
New podcast guaranteed every Monday and Wednesday, and then lots of surprises across the board as Tom Kelly's show. Quick magic mirror time. I see Jason. I see Jen. I see CJ, I see Caitlin, I see Nico, and I see you. I got to pound this out quick because the battery's about to die on the good camera. My name is Tom, Ass Fingers Kelly, saying good night, Paris. Au revoir, Paris.